And welcome back to the channel, everybody. ASAP Grim here, and this is the continuation of my foray into WoW retail, which I don't know very much about. I am aware, and thank you to the commenter who said I kind of already knew, but it's more confirmation that everything about retail is the end game. So that's what I'm trying to get to, but I've not experienced even the leveling experience, and there's so many different menus and stuff to go through. This is all kind of fresh to me, but I do want to get my goal is to get to that end game and see what it's like for a single player WoW player to do retail at the upper end. That's kind of what I'm interested in. I don't think I want to play. I've already got WoW SOD and the other versions of WoW Classic to do guild related stuff. I think that game is better tuned for that stuff. So that's what I do, I guess, MMO type things on. Retail, I'm more interested to see what can I do with this game as a single player who maybe occasionally partners with people to do some other stuff, to pug something or things like that. But especially early on, where I'm not comfortable with the classes, I haven't played any of the expansions after Wrath of the Lich King, not even seen most of them. I would rather just kind of figure things out on my own first. So that's sort of the purpose of the series. And we're going to go ahead and press on here. We have Invader. We got to kill 6 Jardine and rescue 4 Whimpering Whelplings. Where's that going to be at? I don't see it on my mini-map. Okay, it is south. So we'll head down this way.
I am trusting you with the lives of my brethren.
Indeed. My guild is raiding BWL for the second time tonight in WoW SOD. I have just switched mains from a Fury Warrior to my Paladin. I'm playing as Rhett with possible interest in Shakadan in the future, because some of the gear sets look like they might make that pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit this guy. Let's put down a Consecrate, judge him. Okay. How am I doing here? Oh, we're doing fine. So the end result being that my Paladin is not well geared, but I enjoy him and I'm hoping to gear him up quickly. We could only get to the 3rd boss. Yeah, let's save this player here.
I don't have a target.
In BWL. So we have we're in progression right now. Item level 11, item level 12. Okay. And when we could only get to the 3rd boss, we were so close. We got him down to 15%, but we just couldn't quite pull it off. So we called it, and we switched over to ZG, and we cleared all of ZG. And that's where I got a cape. I actually lost on the roll, but one of my guildies is kind of new to the guild. And so he needed to get geared up also, and when we were still doing MC prior to Phase 5 releasing, or maybe it's Phase 4, BWL, prior to BWL releasing, when we were doing MC, I already knew that I was going to switch to my Pally, so I stopped rolling on gear in order to allow the other warriors to gear up as much as possible and strengthen our raid group. And I assume that he must have remembered that because he needed a lot of gear, so he was rolling on everything, you know. So he gave me the cape that he won in ZG, I think, as appreciation for that. So that's how I got that piece of gear. I also got a few set piece items, but I need the reputation to buy it from the vendor. And those set piece items are for the Shakadan. Well, you can pick tank, Ret, or shock. So I initially need to actually use them on Ret because That is the role that I'm filling for the guild right now, is red. And ZG is one of those things that we're going to power clear it routinely, I think. So I'll probably have set pieces for all 3 versions eventually. That's my hope. That's my thought. I have not found these whelplings. So hopefully tonight we're able to drop that boss and progress a little further than we did before. One other thing I'm thinking about asking my guild about is whether they want me to go holy and heal. Because I have bad gear, and you're more effective as a healer with bad gear than you are as DPS. Even though I was doing fairly well, I'm an Exodin who's trying to learn how to seal twist, but I have not been able to get that seal twisting down. I can twist, but I can't get my filler spells in. And that's like a major part, you know, like I've seen the numbers. People who can seal twist competently are up near the top of the DPS meters. I think they're 4th overall right now, paladins that can seal twist competently. But if you're seal twisting badly and you're not using like a stop macro, a stop attack macro, then you go all the way down to the bottom. You're easily in the bottom third. So there's a huge range based on performance and understanding of how to play the class. So at the moment, I do a whole lot more damage as an Exodin. And I kind of like the lore of it, the feel. I don't think lore is the right word, but the feel of that, the theme. You know, a holy warrior using exorcism to deal, to combat evil. That appeals. I like that a lot. I like the motif. So, and it will, it theoretically blends in with the Shakadin a lot better also, I believe. Which I would like to try out, but I really need to. There's no way Shakadin's going to keep up in DPS. I think it can. I think for me, where I'm at as a player, probably all 3 specs are similar, but they're not supposed to be. That's because of execution issues. My own ability to execute, right? So if I were to practice, Seal Twist should be number 1, Exodin number 2, and then Shakadin number 3. But Shakadin and Exodin, I think, are relatively close. Is that another one right there? No. I'm still looking for these guys. Oh, okay. They show up on my mini-map. My bad, guys. I'm just now kind of noticing that. So we'll have to see is what I'm getting at. I need to get the gear because some of what Shakadin does is in order for it to compete, it's going to depend on the set bonuses. So we'll kind of just see how it... People are theory crafting it right now, and we'll see where it develops to. Well, I'm not... I need one more. Now this right now feels a little bit more classic, where you're wandering around waiting for a respawn. this the one that uses holy power? No. Oh, this one is. No, that's not true. This one. Yeah, 3 holy power. It says that there's one somewhere in here. It's up above me. I can hear him. Oh, here we go. The same commenter that was confirming to me that retail is more about the end game was also asking me how I'm liking retail so far. And I like it. It's comfortable. I think that's how I would... I mean, what's the word everybody's using these days that the kids are using? Cozy? You know, it's like that. It's got good vibes, right? I'm chilling this morning playing this on my own. Not working with people. For me, as an introvert, that's stress-free. Even though I like people, the best analogy I ever heard, and I say this often because I think it's such a good analogy, is if you think of introverts and extroverts as batteries. For introverts, whenever they get around people, they're spending battery juice. And in order to recharge, they have to get away from people. And for extroverts, it's the opposite. You know, if an extrovert spends too much time alone, that's draining all their battery juice and it weighs on their mental health. And they got to get around people again. And so, for me, I have an MMO that I'm playing with a guild, and I like being around everybody, and it's fun to do stuff together. But I'm draining my energy as I'm doing it, right? And so then I need something that I can retreat to and just chill and play on my own, even if it's, you know, like what I'm doing right now. I'm not streaming this, I'm recording it, I'm talking to an empty room, a pretend audience, right? And then throwing it out there on the internet for whoever it might benefit. I know for me, at one point in time, I was so mentally exhausted that listening to a certain YouTuber, while I just nodded off into a nap, did wonders for me to de-stress. I don't know. I'm talking and I'm not turning in.
Anything to report? For the Lifebinder.
You know, so I just throw this out on the internet for helping people or benefiting people in any way that it does, whether they just are really entertained and they're fully invested and they like my presentation and they're into it, or whether it's just something to play in the background that helps them just decompress, whatever it is, you know. But I'm not directly involved with anybody, and so it allows me to recharge. So this game is doing a good job of that. It's comfortable. I like the artwork. You know, I like how it's cartoony. I've always enjoyed that about World of Warcraft. But it's pretty. It's good graphics, you know. The world is pretty cool, and the game is engaging. So I'm not loving it yet, but I'm intrigued. And probably for what I'm trying to accomplish with this video and what my background is, that's probably a really good sign. Cadet Syndrax has informed me of our Majordomo's plans. Thank the Lifebinder that we have their help. Their interference gives us the reprieve we need to get our wounded back to the life pools to be treated. I wish I could reinforce Silistra, but I must keep my guards near the wounded. Go to the enemy stronghold to meet them. If there were another way of handling the Jardine, I would ask it, but as it were, you must do what you must. Okay.
Dismissed.
And it looks like we have...
The wagon is ready to go.
Wait. I need you for another vital task, Cadet.
I will see it done, even if it costs me my life.
Easy,
Oh, man.
one. We will need our most veteran warriors to combat the rise of our ancient enemies. Head to the Lifebinder Conservatory and rally the Draconid to the life pools.
Right away, Commander Lethanak.
Okay, I think that dialogue is done now. Sendrax is on his or her way, I forget. The wounded are stabilized, but something still troubles me, Trump mugshot. A pair of dragon spawn ecologists had come to the outpost to study the wetlands. I haven't seen scale nor claw of them since the attack, and it's become worrisome. If you're venturing out, would you mind keeping an eye out and making sure they're safe? And do take care. Rumor has it those wetlands are Gorlock infested. Check in on the wayward ecologists, okay?
For dragonkind.
Also, we have another talent, and this time it's in the protection tree. Hammer of Righteousness. Current target for 128. Also causes wave of light that hits all other targets within 8 yards. I mean, that sounds really good. Blessed Hammer. Spirals out, dealing 21 holy damage to enemies and reducing next damage they deal to you by 24. 6 second. They're both on 6-second recharge. This one appears to be better. It does 128 damage to its main target and then 18 to everything else. This one just does a flat 21 to everything else but lowers their... They're both useful, but I think I like Hammer of the Righteous more. So I'm going to take that. Right here we have more choices to make. I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's apply changes. Okay, now this needs to come down onto my toolbar where I like to have it on mouse button 4. What do you do again? Commands the attention. This is my taunt. Oh, it took the place of Crusader Strike. I see. Okay, let me set this up like I do my WoW SOD bars as much as possible so I don't retrain muscle memory or anything. Oh, looks like I got mail. Where can I check my mail? Is there any place in here? I would assume it would show up on the map if there was. So I'm going to leave it alone for now. Rathian met at Scalecracker Keep and check in on wayward ecologists. Okay. Bonus objective.
It's too far away.
Time for a reckoning. 6% invaded. Well, it's still at 6%. I guess this is the camp. Let's maybe go take a peek. No, I don't know. Let's stay on task. Because he was firing it, I thought. Maybe he was attacking it. But this looks like their equipment, not ours. Looks like bad guy stuff, you know what I mean? Where's the tooltip here? This has to do with the invasion, so I should be able to progress. Yeah, now it's at 12%. Okay. I understand. Are we gonna aggro this snail? No. Oh my, mammoth bull. You know, My Paladin here compared to my Paladin Classic looks a lot better. I dig the graphics, the animation changes. WoW holds up very good for being 20 years old, like WoW Classic, you know. But there's a marked difference here. %34 now. It says I need to go up that way. Actually, I think I need to kill whatever's in here.
I don't have a target.
You're a Ruby Warden. I would say that the game is so far, probably by design, super, super easy. I don't know what I'm doing, and I have never once felt like I was under danger or in danger of dying. I think I have died, but it was because of something like standing in fire or something like that. Like I didn't understand the environment.
Champion, good news from the outpost, I hope.
Okay, there's Rathian.
We meet again, champion.
It does my heart well to hear such good news from Dragonheart Outpost during such a terrible time. The refugees will be safe at the life pools. Even the Jaradine would not raise arms against the might of Queen Alexstrasza herself. Have you ever noticed that everything in fantasy is kind of like female heavy for leadership? I think I talked about this in before. Well, I was talking about dragons. Like I feel like there used to be this phrase, like more played out than Lambo doors. It's like in the interest of getting away from a tired motif, we went a different direction, but now we've been in that territory for so long, I kind of hunger for old traditional style fairy tales, you know? And you just kind of don't see them anymore. I'm not making any kind of a, like, let me be clear here. I have social opinions, like anybody does, right? But that's not what I'm doing here. I'm just confessing. This is just me being honest. Like, I miss that. That would be fun, I think. And it's not because it's better than what we got going right now, but because it's different at this point in time.
Learn from the past. Look to the future.
Ah, yes. I saw the leader of these giants headed back from the raid shortly after I arrived. She's celebrating their victory somewhere within the camp. It would be a shame if someone interrupted her revelries, don't you think? Kill meat grinder, Sotak at Scalecracker. Keep. Alright.
Every
We
action
accept.
has consequences.
While Celestra and I attracted their eyes above, shadows crept in through their defenses. My agents, the Black Talon, are keeping an eye and an ear throughout the keep. Meet them and let them know you're on our side. They'll give you some valuable information on our enemies. So that sounds like kind of like spy, clandestine stuff. That's interesting.
Until next, we will draw their eyes above for you. That should give you some cover. We will meet you at a forward position when you've done some good work.
All right. Am I supposed to get a flight somewhere or continue along this way? Oh man, hard to tell. This doesn't feel like it's the right way to go. Well, maybe I was wrong. I don't know. That's a long ways down. I might die. We're gonna try it. Maybe I can hop over. Okay, and then take another hop down. Okay. There we go. Not bad. Dragon Hunter Igordon. Oh, we gotta go to... Okay, here we go. I'm rooted.
I don't have a target.
Cliffside, Wilder Drake, Horned Nose. What is that? A mount? No, it's in my bags. Unlocks this customization option for the Cliffside Wilder Drake at the rostrum of transformation. You may trade this item with players that were also eligible to loot this item for the next 4 hours, basically. Performing this action will make this item non-tradable. That's fine. Okay, so I've got that transmorg, I guess it is. Item level 43. That's way higher. 17 armor, 4 strength, 7 stamina, 5 haste, and 4 versatility. And then item level 11 is gray. Okay. Open my bags. I want to see what my chest plate looks like. Okay, so it's more of a gleaming silver now, with a bit of a green tone to it. Alright, cool. Let's move on this way, I suppose. Should I mount up? I've seen other people flying here. Am I able to fly? I can't fly. I think I have to go get training. Okay, we gotta go up this mountain. Maybe next episode I'll figure that out. Major Domo? Need to be closer.
I serve my queen. The queen's blessings upon you.
Man, it says I'm right in the vicinity. It says it's below me. Okay. Let's go. Let's go back down then. You.
I've been keeping an eye out.
Aha.
The Red Dragon flight wasn't ready for the surprise attack. The Jarradin seemed to be hoping for a tougher fight next time.
Jarradin, not Jarradine. I guess. Okay, so... Talonstalker consulted, left and right consulted.
The prince is my priority.
That's the left. Wait a minute.
This better be important. This meat grinder is a good leader, and she's riding high from that victory at the outpost. Her soldiers adore her. She's going to cause a lot of trouble if she's left alone. Good luck.
Thank you. Feels like I'm supposed to do something in here, but nothing seems clickable. Oh, maybe it's this guy here. Okay. Pick this up. Begins a quest. You're already on that quest, okay. So it automatically accepted it, I guess, whenever I picked it up. Give the Kalashi plants to Rathian. Well, I want to know where the, this was the left advisor. I want to know where the right advisor is. I don't see them. Let me open up the regular map. Erstwhile ecologists. Scroll in. Camp invaded. Obsidian Citadel. Killjoy. I'm looking for Black Talon intel. Black Talon intel. Okay, it says it's right in front of me. When I lost Crusader Strike, I think I stopped building. Oh, here, generates 1 holy power. Okay. That's a new mechanic for me. Instead of really, well, I still have mana, but I also use this new resource called holy power.
Got something to report?
Yes, I do.
Don't Jarraden consider the outpost a well-earned victory against their ancient foes? They're already talking about another raid, and another, and another. It seems this is just the beginning.
Okay, so that's the intel we have from within the enemy camp. They got the bloodlust in them, and they are planning on engaging in a high ops tempo. Let's go up here and turn this quest in.
Do you trust me?
I don't know about that. The Jardin seem to have no shortage of bodies to throw in our way, but perhaps this blow shall give them pause. Well done, friend. Okay, so we have a sword, 1.3 damage. This is also a sword. Both of them are one-handed. This one does critical strike. This one does versatility. It's a slower sword also. Well, in SOD you want, well, no, they're both 2.6 speed. You want as fast as you can get. And then there's a two-handed axe. Well, I want to be sword and shield for right now. I'm going to anticipate that crit strike is still a big deal for paladins. Well, I don't know if that's true for Prot Pal, though. 2 stamina, 3 crit strike, 2 mastery. What does the versatility do for me? I forget. Increases damage and healing done, and decreases damage taken. Okay, well then, versatility over crit strike, I guess. I guess. $2.7. Wait a minute, 1.3. Oh, this does a lot more damage. Why would anybody take this? Oh, it's got 14 intellect on it. I was reading this all kinds of wrong, so I'm glad I took a close look at that. Explorer's short sword. Look, it's called Defender's Blade even. For holy specialization. Oh, it shows you. That's cool. For retribution specialization, so this is the one. So those are warnings. Those are saying, hey, this is for a spec that you're not using right now. That's cool. I like
The
that.
Black Talon are always watching.
Let's equip it now so I don't forget. Okay. Tattered wilder cloth, worn cloth found on humanoids throughout. Useful detailers. Okay. Alright, X out of that.
Azeroth faces many threats.
That is troubling, to say the least. Yet another reason to fight them. Okay.
Never let your guard down.
And a treat. I love seeing into the minds of my enemies. Helps me strike fast, strike true. Let's see. The Obsidian Citadel? No. No!
Don't do it. The Joradin scheme to claim the Obsidian Citadel. The Black Dragonflight's seat of power. Enough of this!
Oh, we're offended.
Patience, Rathian.
And we have a new talent
I
point.
will have the luxury of patience when they are scoured from my home!
Veteran reinforcements.
Your rival is not always your enemy.
We will need the help of our most veteran guards to stop their threat. Rallying them was the perfect task for a young cadet like Syndrax, but she may need support. Syndrax's path will take her towards the west, which may have been overwhelmed by this rising threat. They will need aid as well. Take this concoction and give them your support. Help the injured guards and find Syndrax.
I will await you.
Well, I can tell you guys, I like the setup here of the Dragon Isles story. It has a similar feel to whenever I first started playing World of Warcraft, and I had no idea that I didn't know what RPGs were. I certainly didn't know what an MMO was. I had no dealings at all with Warcraft 1, 2, or 3. I went into World of Warcraft completely blind. And the whole setup of Alliance versus Horde, and then the Undead, and what happened with Lordaeron, and all that, and you have this ongoing war, and you got to get troops to the front lines, or you got to help with when you're low level, you got to help with logistics and stuff for this ongoing war effort. That was very cool. It was fun. I liked it. It really kind of wrapped me into the story, and this has the same kind of feel. There's catastrophe going on, there's a struggle, and there's war all around us, and we're operating within that context, and I think that's compelling. All right, talents and spellbooks. What do we take now? Well, it looks like... Oh, yeah, we're over here under Paladin now. Okay, so last time I took Greater Judgment. Rebuke. Divine Steed. Okay, I know I had said I wanted to work towards Cleanse Toxins, because I think that's very useful. I can't... Oh, yes, I can grab it. So you only need one in the tree above. And then you can hit... I didn't need to take this. That's cool also. Alright, well, there it is. I think I have this set up on G for WoW SOD. Alright guys, let's call it right there. That's going to be the end of this episode. I'm going to try and get this up today, actually. I'm recording it as of the morning. Because I actually had planned on streaming The Forest, but I decided this was better because I still have some things to figure out with The Forest. And so maybe that'll be tomorrow. But this should come up later today, being Monday. I think it's the 30th, September 30th. Blessings and prayer out to those on the East Coast that got absolutely hammered by the hurricane. I grew up in Florida. Now, I grew up in Central Florida, where most of the hurricanes hit north or south of us, and usually a hurricane was just an excuse to skip school and go surf because the waves were higher than what we're used to in Florida. I wasn't a surfer either, but that's what the general idea was. I didn't have the money to surf. But and so my experience has been, if it's a Cat 4, you know, just it'll hit you, and then it's going to dissipate in a matter of hours or maybe a day, 2 days at the longest. Absolutely, really, it's gonna be a matter of hours where it dissipates down to a tropical storm, or it veers back out to sea and maybe comes back and hits something more north like Georgia or North Carolina briefly and then dies. That was my experience with Cat 4 hurricanes. So for me, I grew up just thinking my experience was you only leave if it's Cat 5. But my gosh, this Cat 4 went over all of Florida and sat there and then moved north, and just there's so much devastation out there. And so those people don't even have internet right now. As I understand it, they would have had Starlink. They would have had, I think, 2,000, close to 2,000 connections or kits or something to link up with Starlink had the Biden administration not done away with Trump's executive order authorizing it. But they did. You know, of course, obviously, if you want to play for the other side, let's try to be fair here. How are they going to forecast this? But the whole purpose of putting emergency order in place or an executive order is to take care of something that could happen in the future, and they brought that down. I think that no matter how you slice it, you own that, you know. And so those people, the reason I bring that up is because my well wishes here are probably not going to reach most of the people that are actually affected by this, but I'm doing kind of a call to arms. I'm giving a shout out to the general population out there to do whatever it is that you do whenever it comes to prayer, blessings, good energy, whatever you want to call it, right? But keep these people in mind, and let's hope for the best. And in whatever ways, I know it's bad economy, but if you're able to, and you can find trustworthy sources, maybe donate a little bit of cash. There are people out there helping on their own. I've got an old military friend that is, he just put his Venmo out. I don't feel comfortable sharing that on the internet, but he put his Venmo out asking for donations to go get a chainsaw, and he's pulling a crew together, and he's going out with his church to help some of these cities, these towns that are kind of cut off from the world, you know, to clear garbage and rebuild roads and get logistics going. That's going to be really important. Power is down, food can't reach these people, telecommunications gone, right? So whatever we can do as a nation to pitch in, maybe think about it is all I'm saying. I know it's tough times. Don't get guilted into it. You got to take care of you and yours first. But if you're able to, now's a good time to kind of pay it forward. All right, guys. Again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I'll see you in the next episode where this story continues.